Okay, our next Hall of Fame inductee is a man I admire so much, not only because his talents are just enormous and he had such a huge impact on all those great golden years of ABC Sports, definitely making an indelible impression on so many of us in this room. We all grew up, you know, during that golden age, if you will, of sports television, when the Olympics, they were just so gigantic in our living rooms, and Monday Night Football and all these things, wide world of sports that were, you know, coming from ABC Sports. And today, if there's anyone who is really the quarterback of, if you will, of the ABC Sports legacy, who keeps it alive, and I've seen him on some occasions, which have been sad occasions, funerals, and the pride he has of having been a part of what ABC Sports stood for in its heyday. It's an incredible thing to watch. It says so much about Jeff Mason. I admire him so much for what he's done in television. I admire him more for the way that he cares about family and the way he looks at the people he has worked with as family. It's really as good as it gets. Here's Jeff Mason going into the Hall of Fame.
Well, first of all, he's the Mace. And when people hear the Mace, you know, they light up. He's perfection, he's energy, he's support and mentoring, he's experience, he's storytelling. And that's very unique, the Mace. It means so much to so many people and to the business.
This past summer, at age 69, Jeffrey Mason worked the World Cup and continued 4 decades of contributions to sports television's most defining historic moments.
Trouble by Palmer right on the top. Trouble again, Frank. He's right on the edge. He's all over this mountain fishing for the gold medal. Brucey's caught on the left, Palmer on the right. Palmer has done it.
The photographers in a phalanx awaiting these two men, John McEnroe and the Emperor, Emperor Bjorn. Now they're unconscious and traveling on moxie.
The defining moments in this industry are rarely times of glory, but how we deal with the human drama of athletic competition.
No good. Wide right.
And Jeff learned that early under the guidance of Roone Arledge.
The summer of 1967, in a time frame of no more than 40 or 50 days, Don Ohlmeyer, Dick Ebersol, and Jeff Mason all started at ABC Sports. We had the training that ABC Sports could give like no other place.
They have now said that there were 11 hostages. 2 were killed in their rooms yesterday morning. 9 were killed at the airport tonight. They're all gone.
I have notified the Olympic Committee that with Soviet invading forces in Afghanistan,
we spent 3 years of our lives really focused in like laser beams on doing those broadcasts. And when you know, Carter kind of floated that trial balloon in his State of the Union address.
Neither the American people nor I will support sending an Olympic team to Moscow.
From the broadcast center in Moscow, Jeff and Don led a team of 12, satisfying the terms of a $75 million insurance policy by producing Today Show segments, which featured the compelling rivalry between Sebastian Coe and Steve Ovett.
I was working on the weekends for ABC Sports, and I got sick for the Tournament of Champions golf tournament in Vegas, and somebody called Jeffrey and said, "Jeff, can you come in and do it?" And the rest is history for Jeff Mason.
Where the American defender Intrepid has been racing this week against the Australian challenger Dane Paddy.
The America's Cup and Jeffrey Mason, they should always be put in the same sentence. For a guy that was so absolutely committed and continues to be to sports television, to have the opportunity to do an event to which he is so committed, the America's Cup and sailing in general, it really was a marriage made in heaven. And with that, we saw just a remarkable drive and determination to do the event, not just well, but to do the event like it had never been done before.
In the waters of New England, he first learned how to compete and then discovered the value of teamwork. In the Navy, as a Lieutenant JG, he learned how to lead.
I've never seen a better creative organizer than Jeffrey. Whether it's an Olympics, whether it's a World Cup, he can look at the biggest problems from an organizational logistics point of view, as well as a creative point of view. And I think there's only one or two people in the history of the planet that all those attributes have come together.
Jeff is the best guy I know in getting a group of people together and motivated, looking forward to one objective and trying to achieve it. He's a great leader of people, and it was a key hire in our early days of the NFL Network.
A portion of this program will be brought to you in color.
Jeff has managed to stay relevant through 4 or 5 decades of sports television history. Jeff's his attention to detail is extraordinary. He keeps reinventing himself. And as he reinvents himself, he becomes a mentor to a whole new group and a whole new generation of people in this industry. And I think that's what sets Jeff apart from everyone else.
I've admired Jeff Mason since I met him when he was a gopher at ABC Sports in the 1960s. He hired me at NBC Sports. He's been a mentor of mine. He's been a friend of mine. And there's no one I admire in this profession more as an executive, either personally or professionally, than my good friend, Jeff Mason.
Jeff is very open and generous in his professional life, and he's also very open and generous in his personal life. His association with the Betty Ford Center didn't just help him. He's helped an enormous number of people inside the sports television business. Jeff effectively saved my life.
No matter what he's being honored for tonight in terms of his accomplishments in the sports broadcasting business, his achievement in helping his fellow man dwarfs anything that any of the rest of us have ever won awards for in this industry. He's really put his fellow man first repeatedly, and I have unbelievable admiration and love for Jeff Mason as a result of that.
I mean, just think about it. He was there in the 80s, putting ESPN on the map, and 30 years later, one of ESPN's defining moments. His fingerprints were all over the World Cup in South Africa.
A lifetime devoted to the art of storytelling came full circle in South Africa. In the challenge of the World Cup, Jeff's passion for his profession was once again revealed. It showed in the connections he made with the event, the culture, and the emotions reflected throughout the coverage.
So, if that doesn't get you in the Hall of Fame, then maybe it's not a great place to be. I don't know. I don't know what the entry requirements are.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Mason.